Hi, I'm Andrew Flowers, Chief Economist at Appcast, bringing you the Recruitonomics review of the April 2025 U.S. jobs report. Is this the last before report? The before here, in scare quotes, refers to before the tariffs that were outlined last month impact the labor market. So in April, as a top line figure, we saw that the U.S. economy added 177,000 net new jobs last month, which was quite strong, higher than the consensus forecast. And the unemployment rate stayed steady at 4.2%. So this is a pretty good jobs report. You see over the last rolling 6 months, the U.S. economy has averaged adding 190,000 jobs per month. That is really steady. And so what do we mean when we talk about the before impact of tariffs? When we looked at the specific industries, it seems like there's strong broad-based gains, right? Healthcare continues to chug along, adding 50,000 jobs. Leisure and hospitality added 24,000 jobs. The kind of white-collar sector, the professional and business services, added 17,000 jobs, and so on. But when we talk about the before effect of tariffs, I want to focus in on this sector, transportation and warehousing jobs. So in April, consumers and businesses were trying to front load their purchases of foreign goods. We saw a huge surge of imports, as I'll talk about in a second. And so this strongly boosted demand in roles like trucking and warehousing. And so we saw in April a 29,000 job gain in this sector. But how sustainable is this? Or is this just because of the front loading? That's the question we have in mind. The other sector that showed some kind of notable warning signs that we've all been reading about in the news is the federal government. Shed 9,000 jobs last month. And so this is, of course, part of the new Trump administration's efforts under DOGE to reduce the federal workforce. So that's expected. But what was also big in the news this week was the first quarter GDP report. We saw that in Q1, so in January, February, March, the U.S. economy contracted in terms of gross domestic product. It declined by 0.3%. Now, a lot of that, as you see here in this green bar, was because of imports. Imports surged in Q1, right? Again, front loading ahead of tariffs. So when you strip out the distortion of the tariffs, and you look at just underlying consumer spending and business investment, it was actually quite strong, growing 3% in Q1. All this is leading up to the questions we have about Q2. Q2 growth, the Q2 labor market, as we learned this morning with the April jobs report, it's showing strength, but the tariffs are a major shock. We've seen huge declines in transoceanic shipments. There's anecdotal evidence from businesses that inventories are being depleted as consumers and businesses are preparing for the tariff impacts that could really materialize in the coming weeks and months. So how the tariffs actually translate into labor market changes, whether employment growth, which has been strong in the first 4 months of this year, continues, we will be watching this closely. So stay tuned, stay with us. Check out Recruitonomics.com for a full detailed report of today's jobs figures. And thank you so much.